What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Truth Addiction. This is the channel that deals with the disease of addiction and all the ways it manifests itself. I am a recovering addict, and my name is Brian, and I suffer from a disease which is incurable, progressive, and sometimes fatal. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is then possible. I'm here with Amanda. What's going on, Amanda? Let me get a pound.
What's up?
How you feeling today?
Pretty good.
All right, so I've been asking you probably for about 2 weeks now to do this, and I got some questions, and we all like to hear your answers, and you said you would do it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, before we do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, help us to carry this message. That subscribe button's down here below the video somewhere. So first and foremost, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been clean?
My name's Amanda. I just celebrated 6 months this past Sunday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, that's
Super
a wonderful
happy.
thing. Yeah. All right, so tell us a little about where you were born, where you were raised, and a little bit about your early childhood.
I was born in Abington Hospital. I was raised in Upper Bucks County, Sellersville, PA. Went to school, Penridge High School.
Hold on, we ain't at high school yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm slow.
Early
Penridge,
childhood.
the whole
What's-
school was Penridge School District. Sorry.
What's your early childhood like? Mother, father? What's going on?
Yeah. So my mom and dad they divorced when I was 13. My mom was not really present. She claimed she was, but she wasn't. She had multiple affairs. She joined a dart league.
A dart, like what?
Yeah.
Throwing darts?
Yeah. I think that was just to kind of get the fuck out of the house.
Right,
Cursing
yeah.
is okay, right?
Yeah, you curse all you want here.
Yeah, I have an older sister. She's about 5 years older than I am. So my parents waited till she graduated high school and moved and started college to get divorced. And
So you got two parents in the house until you're like 13?
yeah.
Okay, is there any drugs prevalent in the house?
My mom was a big drinker. I don't know if she did drugs. I really don't. It wouldn't be surprising if she did when she was out shooting her darts.
Right.
But I mean, when I was a very young child, I remember, my dad always saying to my sister and I, whoever gets me a new beer first can open it and try it, take the first sip. I don't know if any of you guys had that, but
Oh yeah.
that was always a thing. So
when I remember like, around 12, 13, my mom and her friends would light shots of like that potent ass liquor, what's that called?
green.
Yeah, like just 190 proof. They would light it on fire, take shots. My mom was a full blown addict. I didn't know that she had the disease of addiction until like I was older, things like that. So your household for the most part is pretty good coming up, right? Until you hit.
Yeah, I mean, they fought constantly, but yeah, other than that, there wasn't, drugs or anything in my house.
Okay. Yeah, because like, I just like to get that out there because people think that like we tend to, we come from like addicts and all that shit.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people have come from good households and there's just no way to tell,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now we'll get in that. What high school did you go to?
I went to Penridge.
Yeah,
It's a secret.
say it again.
Yeah. No, I played soccer my whole life. Played for the high school, played for travel teams, played for Upper Bucks select teams.
Were you a good student?
No.
You sucked? That sucked.
I got
too,
to
man.
high school and sucked terribly because, everything changes then. But before that, yeah, it was great. I loved school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you graduate?
I got pregnant when I was 17.
Okay.
I dropped out. I did get my GED, did go to college.
Yeah, me too. I had to go back and get my GED too. How old were you when you got your GED?
18.
Oh, okay. You did it kind of soon after. I waited like another 10 years.
I may have been 19. I don't remember.
Dude, I went to summer school from sixth, seventh, and eighth grade just so I can get to high school and go for like 2 weeks and freaking quit school. Because my mom didn't give a shit. Like, my mom is just so high, it didn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
like, she doesn't care. What the hell am I going to care? So, do you have any you remember any hobbies like in your teenage years?
We had a big above ground pool at my dad's house, so swimming and my dad always wanted boys. My sister was more of I don't know what she was really, because we weren't close when we were kids. She was like daddy's little girl,
Right.
more of the girl than I was.
So, you had like a little bit of jealousy going on there?
Oh, definitely,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not anymore. Like I did all growing up.
Right.
Hell yeah, definitely, for sure. And I used to say it all the time. And my mom used to say, "Well, I saved the best for last," to my sister. Like, it was fucked up.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive bullshit. But, like, my dad taught me how to rip down a house, rebuild a
Nice.
house. My dad taught me how to build cars. Like, I'm not jealous of my sister at all.
Well, I meant at that moment, but yeah, you're.
Then, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Then, yeah, super duper jealous.
So you talked about that, the trying the beer and all. What about like your first time using? Well, you remember that the first time you used, like you were on your own,
Well, when I was 14, I started smoking weed. I was dating a guy in high school that was 2 years older than me, and he was in my German class.
You know how to speak German, or did you learn it?
Oh yeah, I learned it. I just don't remember much of it
Right.
now.
So, like, looking at that first time you got high, do you think that was like a peer pressure thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
definitely. Same thing with cigarettes when I was in 6th grade, taking that first Marb Red,
Yeah, because like I felt, I tell people all the time, like I feel like even from my first use, it was against my own will. Like I was powerless over doing it. Especially from my household was fucked up with drugs, so I already knew it was fucked up. When I took that 40, I was just standing on the corner of South Philly, and somebody put a Xanax in a 40, like, yo, here, man. But I was like the preacher dude for a little bit. What are you guys doing? This is bad. What are you doing? You know what I mean? And then eventually it was like the peer pressure, man. I just went in. So do you remember how that made you feel? Like, how'd you feel that first time you got high?
I don't remember the first time I got high. I remember the first time I took ecstasy, though. I was also 14. It's right.
That's young as shit.
It was right before I turned 15. I was a freshman in high school.
So what's going on with that? With the ecstasy? What did you feel?
I
What you feel?
loved
Yeah,
it.
you loved
I loved it. I kept doing it, and I did so much of that in 9th grade. And I mean, that shit almost killed me 4 different times. That shit almost killed me, and I kept doing it.
Right. So
It's fantastic.
I know you're in a program, right? And we don't like mention specific programs here, but I know you're involved and you're doing the thing. You've learned something about the disease at this point, right? Looking back at before you used, do you see any signs of the disease of addiction? Like, explain that.
Well, I mean, always wanted to be my sister. Always wanting to be somebody that I wasn't.
Me
Trying to be something better. Me was never good enough. I mean, all of it,
A lot of people pleasing going on.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And that continued even after starting to use. That was always, well, I have to be the best at everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an extremely competitive human person.
We're like chameleons. We can be whoever you want us to be.
In the time that you need us to
In
be
the
that.
time we need you to be. Yeah, that's exactly right, man. So take us back to that first use, right? And then take us up to where you are today, before you got clean this time. And explain that progression, the drug use, and what's going on in your life.
Well, I mean, all through high school, used. Alcohol has always been my thing. It's my,
You call that? You think that's your drug of choice?
Fuck
Alcohol?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because, without the alcohol, as an adult anyway, maybe before when I was a kid, I think it changes for everybody as, you grow up, you find what you really like,
Right.
I mean, in all subjects. But like, I don't know. Like I said, I became a mom when I was 18 years old, and I dropped everything. I quit smoking the day I found out that, and I mean cigarettes too. I dropped everything the day I found out I was pregnant with her, and
Which a lot of people do. I've heard a few stories like that.
yeah, she's a pain in my ass. She's gonna be 19 on July 7th. She is a mother. She did the exact same thing I did.
Right.
I have a grandson. He's beautiful, but I'm not allowed to see him because she's a bitch. But and it's not
Maybe
because
that'll
it's
be
not
that.
because of my addiction. It's because I won't give her what she wants because she feels entitled because she's a teenager
Okay.
and I think she has addict personalities. But
So you're 18. You let go of
I
everything
know.
with the
I'm
drugs.
sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good, man.
I'm all over the place.
So you let the drugs go at
Yeah,
first. Okay.
went through all of that. I was in a relationship with somebody for almost 10 years, and then that ended in 2015, the end of 2015, and it was like, all right, let's live my 20s because I didn't get
Right.
to,
Yeah.
and all hell broke loose.
So you stayed good that long?
Yeah.
10 years.
Yep.
Man, it's wild.
Yeah. I mean, we'd have people over, stuff like that. I didn't do any drugs, nothing like that. But I mean, I definitely drank, but I didn't get crazy.
Right.
We'd have parties and stuff, birthday parties, Halloween parties. It was like a whole
Yeah.
thing.
There's like
The
the
normal
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
So you pick up, right? It's starting to feel. You go to alcohol?
Oh yeah.
You go
Yeah,
anything
that
else?
was the first. Oh yeah, cocaine. Cocaine. Cocaine.
Yeah.
That yeah, and then that got really bad. Like the product itself just turned to shit. Kept using it, but it turned to shit. And then somebody was like, "Oh, Amanda, here, try some meth." No, I don't want that.
That fucking meth is
You know,
wicked.
like right. I
Dude.
don't want that. I mean, it got to the point where I was at my cousin's wedding. Not this past October. Was it this past? I don't know. 2 years ago. And I was doing fucking coke in my daughter's presence, like at the wedding. Like, who the fuck does that shit? We do, because we're a bunch of fucking junky assholes. Like,
Yeah. I remember copping in North Philly with my kid in the car.
yeah. Don't
You know?
even. I mean, I was present for my daughter's life, but was I present?
Right.
There's so many things I didn't do, and I could have done better. I mean, all parents say that, but like as an addict and being in active addiction, like, I mean, I had full custody of her. I was there. I was working. I mean, in August it'll be 11 years that I had my first seizure, and that started before the floor dropped out, and so that wasn't drug or alcohol related, but I have uncontrolled epilepsy, and thankfully it's gotten unbelievably better since I've stopped using.
Yeah. You take medication for
Oh
it?
yeah, I've
right.
been on every medication they have out there for it because nothing was helping. But
Right. That's some scary shit to see somebody going to a seizure like that. I had a boy used to do that, man. It's very scary to watch that from an outside point of view.
yeah,
So you're fucking shit up. You're doing meth. You excelled from coke to meth.
no, I was doing
Right.
both at the same time.
Both at the same time. Do you try to get clean before this time and fail or what?
I went to, well, I had a bunch of seizures in a row, and I ended up in the hospital. Normally, I don't go to the hospital because there's nothing they can do. But
Right.
I had a bunch in a row, and I wasn't stopping, and so I ended up in the hospital. They did blood work, obviously, after sedating me, and found meth and coke and a whole bunch of shit in my system, and asked me if I'd do treatment. I said, okay. Went to Eagleville for 3 days, signed myself out.
Yeah, I
That
was in
place-
there and did the same thing.
That place is shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, they didn't do anything. You just sat in a fucking plastic chair
Yeah.
for 3 fucking days. You couldn't. There was crazy. Anyway, there was nothing, no meetings, no anything. It was you just sat there
Right.
and watched a fucking TV with your little cup of juice. Fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I signed myself out. There was nothing. So then
So you didn't hit,
That
you didn't
was-
hit any meetings or anything like that, right?
no.
Okay.
And then I think that was May of 22. And then in December, I went out and hit it hard on my birthday. And I remember I was in the, a friend of mine was performing at a club by me. And it was like a thing, like, okay, you're gonna meet the family and stuff, friends and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm like, well, cool, it's my birthday anyway, I'm drunk when I got there. And then, like, a friend of mine gave me a fucking bag of Coke. I'm like, all right, sweet, like, happy birthday. I'm like,
Happy
awesome.
birthday.
Go right to the bathroom, already methed up on top of it. Now, accident, I didn't have anything. Now, I'm not a shooter, I'm a snorter, so, like, I'm in the bathroom and I'm, like, trying to fold some business card. That did not work. I did like half the fucking bag in one fucking.
Whew.
Yeah, I couldn't see.
Right.
It was bad. It was so
So,
bad.
and that was the first you had in a little bit, right? So.
Yeah. So my friend's up on stage looking at me just because he's a recovering addict. He's got over 20 years, and
So he knew what was up.
he's looking at me just, motherfucker, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Seriously? What the fuck? And like when he took a break, he came over and literally grabbed my face by my jaw and was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh.
I'm like, I can't get this out. I don't know what the fuck I said. I don't know what I said. But,
Jaws all frozen
yeah,
and shit.
2 days later, I ended up having over 30 seizures. And,
In one day?
Damn. And yeah, they like back to back. And ended up in the hospital again and took it more seriously this time. Was in a rehab for 9 days.
So that's your
then-
last use
Yeah.
before this time?
Yep.
Because that's usually what I ask people the day before your last use. So you enter rehab, and you stay
Yeah,
for 9 days?
I was in the hospital for 4 days because of the seizures, and then they sent me to Valley Forge for 9. And then they kicked me out. I pissed off one of the nurses. She used to be a girl I worked with, and I used to be her boss. And now she was like the charge nurse. She didn't like it, and I kept telling her to fuck off in front of all her people.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's what got me thrown out. But
They
they wouldn't tell me, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, a lot of us are angry, man. When we stop using, man. We just we're mad at the world. Really, we're just angry at ourselves on the shit. The place we put ourselves, man. So, in that rehab, what's going through your head? You got any fears? Do you think you're actually going to stay clean this time, or are you?
I was actually just reading my journal the other day from when I was in there, and I don't think I was in any kind of mindset at all because, when you're a couple days clean, your mind's still the same.
Yeah.
It's still working the same way, and you're just, who knows what the fuck you're thinking. I was hoping that it would work, that there would be some kind of miracle, something, but...
And you've got to hit a meeting at this point, right? Are you
There
seeing
were
at least
some-
H&I come into the hospital and speak?
Yeah,
Right.
that was cool. But, I was scared shitless coming out here. It's like an hour away from home. Mm-hmm. But now being out here and actually doing what I need to do, I can't ever move back home.
Okay.
Because I go back home, I go right back. It may be a week. I give myself a week, and I'd be at a bar.
Right.
And then
Well, that's how you feel today.
Right.
And we got to do what's best for us. Mm-hmm. But I could tell you that as you progress and you go through these steps, right, and you stay clean long enough,
Right.
it will not matter where you're at. You just have to keep going, right? And you make that changes internally, and eventually you just get to a point where, and I'll just tell you from my experience, you'll get to a point where you recover from love of yourself instead of fear of using. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And there's no doubt in my mind, if you stick with it and you really go through this process and really dig deep within you, right? And you work these steps, you'll get to that point. There's no doubt in my mind that. So, tell me your experience with your first meeting you go to. What's going on? You get like a seed planted in your head?
I mean,
You
I don't
remember that?
I don't remember it at the recover or at the what the fuck is it called?
The rehab?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember them there.
No, like your first outside.
Yeah, it's one of my home groups.
Okay, cool.
No, I walked in and they had already started, and I felt really bad. It was my first NA meeting for myself, and the way I tell everybody, it's like these people are speaking my language. They're a bunch of fucking idiots. They're a bunch of fucking crazy people, and that's the people that are in my home group. They're fucking nuts, and I love them for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The guy that was chairing the meeting that month was just wouldn't stop laughing and making weird comments. Like it was just loose, live it. Like it was just good.
So it was attractive.
Yes.
Because a lot of people get repelled at first. They think people are bullshit and they're not really clean. Or whatever it is. Really, we're just trying to tell ourselves whatever we can to get us the fuck out of it and start using it again. That's really what it comes down to. But so you know a little bit about the disease now. Talk about that. What does it mean to you when you hear like, hey, that person over there has a disease of addiction? What's that mean to you?
I used to pity them, but now I relate. And it's not just about drugs or alcohol. It's about, everything in life. I mean, not being good enough for anybody in any sense.
Right.
I have to be better. I have to be better. I have to be better. I can do better. I can do better. Other people that I hear say often, wanting more. Yeah, but I want more.
That's the answer I get a lot.
All the time. I
Disease of
hear it
more.
in so many rooms.
Just more, yeah.
So many rooms.
It's
I
true.
hear that. Yeah, and I've seen it firsthand. Like people would say that stuff. Like it's just like you say you need it. Do you need it or do you want it?
Right.
Thinking you want it. You don't need it. You don't want it. Yeah, you want it. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like.
So I've learned from being clean for a little bit now, man, that I think here I have a theory. Here's my theory. I think the reason it's incurable, right, is because I still tend to live in excessive shit, right? So in other words, like I've learned some shit about the disease outside of the rooms. Like I try to study the brain and what's going on, and I understand it. There's just large amounts of fucking dopamine that we've been fucking bringing up here, right? And I thought that, once the drugs were gone, like that'd be a whole different thing. But we get extra shots of dopamine that we're supposed to get. We have like this normal thing. Like, when we do a good job at work, or, your boss, like, great job, that little feeling you get, or somebody, let's say you're in love with or whatever, and they, you're having that heart-to-heart conversation, that little good vibe you get. Because it's our bodies telling us, that was good, let's do it again, here's a little shot of dopamine for it. Or if you eat something good, right? But just because we lay down the drugs, I found out like that shit still carries over, whether it's through sex, food, gambling, toxic relationships, whatever it is. We're still up in there getting that, you know what I mean? And it lights up the same parts of the fucking brain. So I think that's one of the reasons that we say it's incurable. And we can get the brain back to where it was. It just takes a long time. You know what I mean? And we could fall into this illusion because we have a year clean or 2 years clean that somehow we've changed the nature of our disease.
Right.
But I've learned you can't do that. It's just we're just changing behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Because our true nature is a self-centered motherfucker. We want what we want, and we don't fucking care. You know what I mean? But we just we just try to get better with that. So for me, it's, a disease of more. So let me ask you that. Do you think there's a cure for the disease of addiction?
No. I think there's just continuous work on yourself. And
So,
being mindful. Mindfulness is like a big thing. Like you have to be aware of what you're doing.
Right. So we can manage it.
Right.
We can arrest it. I don't think there's a fucking cure either. Maybe one day, who knows? Maybe it'll be able to rewire our fucking brain scientifically, and we'll be all right.
Take it out.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm all up on the CDC website a lot, and I look at the OD deaths, right? And one of the reasons I start doing this because we're dying at this crazy ass rate. It's like up to 120 something thousand people a year, man. But besides that, the recovery rate in the programs like that we're in, it's really low considering what's happening. In other words, to put it like this, if 100 of us go into a meeting for the first time and try to stay clean, it's right around like 4 of us stay clean for a year. One of us stays, out of those 4, one of us stays clean for 5 or more years. At least that's what the stats say. I can say personally, for me, that's kind of what I've seen in my time around. What do you think the reason is for that? Why do you think
people
that?
suffer with depression?
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And they don't address it. I think that people feel alone. I think people are afraid.
Yeah, it's a scary feeling. You're broken. You come into the meetings, man.
A lot of people aren't willing to do what they need to do.
That's a big one. A lot of people don't want to accept they have a disease. They think they've just been down the wrong road, hang with the wrong people, or...
I can do it my way.
Yeah. It's just that traumatic event that happened to me that turned me to this, and I try to tell people when they first come in, like, dude, the best thing I could tell you is try to grasp that concept of a disease as fast as you can. Because when we don't, I think that we start to suggest control to ourselves. And we're out of there. You know what I mean? We do that like 1, 2, 3 shuffle. Come in and we're out. So I think that's one of the reasons. So do you, besides the drugs, what's your problem?
What's my problem?
Yeah, what's your problem, man?
I hate everybody.
You
I mean, if
just
you've
hate
been in
everybody.
meetings with me, I say
just-
that. Like, I just don't like people. No, I'm... I mean, you can ask that one in there. Like, I'm taken the wrong way a lot. It's probably my delivery method. I don't know. I've gotten better at it. I've worked on myself a little bit as I go, but I still come off as the asshole.
Yeah.
I'm the asshole. But
lot of
I'm
us
the
are assholes.
asshole because, well, you wanted my opinion.
Yeah.
There it is. I mean, if I see that you're fucking up, you're fucking up.
So you got anything so you focusing on anything right now? You're trying to make better within you?
Being nicer.
Just being nice. So there's a lot of hating people and trying to be nicer.
I'm trying to be nicer, and I'm trying. Honestly, I'm trying to deal with this stuff with my daughter.
Yeah.
She's obsessed about being entitled, and it's pissing me off. And I mean,
And I think you will. I think eventually you will.
she put me on, like, she's everything to me, right?
Yeah.
My family is everything to me, and she decided a couple weeks ago that she was just going to. I said no to something stupid, and she said that if I didn't say yes, that she would keep me from my grandson.
Damn.
And it's materialistic bullshit. And, like, I don't know where she became entitled.
Yeah.
Because, well, I've been fucking absent for the last year or two. So, yeah, I mean, sorry.
So do you think? You think there's a deeper issue there?
Oh, yeah, she's definitely hating on me for the stuff that she had to do. I mean, she made some comment about, well, Mom, you don't remember when I had to drag you out of the driveway by your ankles that time and that time
Yeah.
and that time, like shit like that. She'll bring shit up like that, but in a joking way, but it's not.
It pisses you off?
It's not a joke. It's not a joke at all, but
Right.
it's her delivery, so it makes her feel safe to say it.
You think she got the right to say it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Everybody has a right to their feelings.
You know, there's just some shit we gotta take on the chin.
Yeah. I was
know
an
what I mean?
asshole.
Yeah, we gotta take some shit on the chin.
I did some fucked up shit. She is a child, and she is my child. And if anybody's going to talk to me that way, it's going to be her.
Right.
Nobody else is going to talk to me that way. But she's going to talk to me that way, and it's going to be okay. And then when I get off the phone with her, I'm going to cry for hours
Right.
and not get out of bed and be a little whiny baby for, a day.
Yeah.
But
and I think eventually
you learn to process it.
you process it. And
But I didn't, I don't go out. I don't go to the bar. I don't, like, I lost that desire a while ago.
right. So, but you just celebrated 9 months, right?
6.
6 months. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So there's this thing that happens with the people that love us that we kind of, when we were in our addiction or whatever, and it's like we want to go to those people and apologize and be right immediately. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes people never forgive us, right? But what happens, I think, eventually, as you do the step work and you do the process, what happens is you don't have to say anything anymore. People just see it in you. They know you've changed, and they adapt to that. And then there's another level to it, and maybe you'll cross that path with your daughter one day, where you're as sorry as you could possibly be, and you have changed, and you're doing the things you need to do, and then you just get to a point where, okay, I sought forgiveness. You understand, and you just have that conversation. And if some people want to keep pressing the issue, sometimes you just gotta. It is what it is. They don't need to understand me. I just need to understand that they don't understand me, and that's it, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think you'll come across that too. So, how is life today, man?
My life is great.
What's going on? What's going on?
I just moved
Okay.
5 houses down the street.
Right. You didn't even have to rent a truck, did you?
No, actually, we used, what's their names?
Did you really? You had to use a truck to go 5 houses down?
I mean, and that was just my stuff. That was just my stuff.
Right. So how's life? So you're
Yeah, we moved. So now it's not a ton of women that are like out of their minds.
You're in a sober house? Is that considered a sober house? Or
I have no
recovery
idea
house?
what the title is.
just
I
don't
think
know
it's
the
still a
title.
recovery house. I'm not sure.
It's a bunch of ladies trying to do the right thing, stay clean.
Right now there's only 4
support
of
each
us,
other.
and we do that. The 4 of
Right.
us do that.
Yeah.
And
I
at
heard
the
the
other-
women recovery houses are getting crazy.
Yo.
Man. So I don't really talk about it too much, but I manage 4 men's sober houses. And we have come up with that idea a couple times, because I have a lot of women that ask for rooms. I'm like, it's only men. And we've thought about, like, should we do a woman? And I'm like, man, you know, I don't think I want to mess with that. I just don't want I don't want to get into that drama, man.
Don't do it. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, you think like, oh my God, the worst thing is who the fuck took my creamer? And that was the problem for the longest time is like missing creamer. I don't keep a lot of food in the house.
Right.
I just don't do it. I mean, I go by day and I, figure out what I'm going to do.
That's an extra element in a woman's than a men's. Like, where's my creamer? Usually in a men's, it's like, who ate my fucking cornflakes?
Like somebody broke
you got
my
extra shit going on.
Somebody broke my coffee maker, my Keurig maker. I ordered another one, kept it in my bedroom. Somebody fucking broke my Google TV that I had like jailbroken and had all this shit on.
Yeah.
Broke the fucking remote.
Yeah. Who did it?
And
We wanna know who did it.
somebody steals my underwear. Somebody steals my
Damn, they
shirts.
stealing your underwear. All right.
Not even just my underwear. My old roommate, they stole her.
Wait, are they like the clean ones, or are they just going
Doesn't
through
matter.
your shit? Doesn't.
Their underwear. Does it matter?
Right. You're right. It doesn't.
But yeah,
matter.
like dude, women are crazy, and we were.
Well, dudes are crazy too, but I think
Like,
in that
the
environment, yeah, it
nasty.
could get bad.
It's-
Yeah, I could see it happening, man. Dude, you got a lot of people. Listen, you got people coming from different places. They're
Right.
in different places in their life. Some are angry as fuck. Some are just trying to be subtle and ride their time. It's all different shit. But here's the thing, right? All these experiences you're having, when you make it on the other side, you're sitting there with your own crib and you're clean for a while and things are good. That type of shit is gonna make that so much sweeter. And it's gonna help you grow. Because you're learning things where you're at. Even though you might not, there's probably a couple things you're learning, you probably don't even know you're learning.
Yeah.
But you know you will. All right, so what are you doing to stay clean today?
I go to meetings almost daily.
I heard you say you got a home group.
Yeah, I have 2 actually. I only vote at 1,
Okay.
but I have 2. Yeah, Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings.
Got a sponsor?
Yeah, we don't talk as often as I'd like.
Okay.
We don't go to the same meetings. It's
Is your
rough.
step work dusty or what? Are you in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. But I need to do more. You know, you need to
Yeah.
do more. Always can do more. I mean, being somebody who can't work because of my uncontrolled seizures and stuff like that. Like I'm on disability and everything. Like I can sit around and
So you have the time.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's no reason for not doing more.
Right.
And then you see these people that have 3 jobs
Yeah.
that are doing everything and anything.
Right.
And then, you know, they just work themselves to the ground and then they just pass out and everybody's like kicking them down too while
Yeah.
they're beating themselves down so much and everybody's like beating on them because, oh, well, she's got prettier hair than me, so fuck her, you know? Like,
Right.
women suck.
Yeah.
Women suck.
Dude,
I feel
so you're where you're supposed to be, really, you know? And like as long as you're aware of that you could be doing more, you know what I mean? Maybe eventually I could tell you this. So I've been through all 12 steps and I'm now back on my first step. And I'm telling you that 90% of the step work I have written was like in some kind of desperation.
Yeah.
It was because I'm either doing some dumb shit or I'm fucking whatever. I'm killing myself with food, whatever it is. Things that I make myself uncomfortable to where I'm like, oh, and like I'm forced to write almost. So minimal of my step. The other 10% of like when life's good and I feel good and everything is great, I hardly ever write on steps. It's always when I'm feeling
Yeah.
like ass for whatever reason. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
no, it doesn't matter for me. I mean, I'll write on them by myself, but I won't work them. Like I don't talk to my sponsors when I should.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Because all it is a reservation. It's another reservation we leave ourselves. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. So before I do that, I know there's people out there that are struggling. There's people out there that think that like maybe they want to get clean, but they can't. They feel like they can't. They might feel unique, like they're different than us, whatever
Yeah.
it may be. Look in that camera and like just, what would you say to a person like that, man?
We're not special at all. Nobody is. I mean, we all feel that way. I mean, I know I did, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And then I came in, I was scared shitless walking into my first meeting, and you never want that hug, that first hug. And then they say to you, I'm going to change you. And yeah, they did, because 30 days later, where's my hug, you know, like
Right.
right up. But you have to do it. You have to do it. And you have to want to. And you're the only one that knows that.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell you.
Well said. I'll just add to that. Make today the day, man. Tomorrow might never come.
So true.
All right? I've known a couple people.
Yeah.
I'll get clean tomorrow, Bri.
Yeah, okay.
All right, cool. See you tomorrow. You gonna give me a ride to rehab? Yeah, I'll give you a ride tomorrow. Dead.
Yep.
Just die, man. All right, so listen. This is the end of the interview. I do this stupid ass thing at the end of the interview.
Blah, blah, blah.
I call it the fast ass 5. It's just 5 stupid random questions.
Oh,
I'm gonna
God.
throw them at you. You're gonna answer them. You ready?
No.
You prefer summer or winter?
Winner.
Winter. I love that. Vegetables or candy?
Candy.
Horror movie or comedy?
Horror.
You're at the barbecue. You going all beef delicious hot dog or hamburger?
Burger.
Nobody wants to say hot dog.
I do love hot dogs.
I fucking love.
I
Dude,
love hot
all
dogs.
beef.
I just
even
had
said
one
delicious.
this long at the beach a couple weeks ago.
Oh, my
this
God.
long.
Yeah.
I took most of the bread off because it was like, the fuck.
Right.
Ruined it.
I think there's like a really
But
good all beef
on
hot
the
dog.
on the burger though, or on the burger,
Yeah.
on the fucking grill.
The hot dog on the grill. Though,
Yeah,
come on.
no, but
Oh,
still,
right.
like it's a fucking burger on the grill.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever. I'm going hot dog.
Okay, go.
All right. So last question. Would you rather be brutally honest or lie when you have to?
Brutally honest.
All right. That's going to do it for us. Give me a pound. You did a great job.
Thanks.
All right, listen, thanks for watching the channel. I really appreciate it, all the support that I've been getting. And just remember, the disease of addiction is broad and outside of the realm of just using drugs. Keep coming back, more will be revealed.